The basics of epidemiological data. What every researcher needs to know. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the basics of epidemiological data, what it is, why it matters, and how researchers like you can make the most of it. Whether you're new to public health or a seasoned researcher looking for a refresher, this video will cover everything you need to know. So, let's get started. First things first, what exactly is epidemiological data? Simply put, it's the data that helps us understand the health of populations. This data can tell us how diseases are distributed, who is affected, and how health outcomes change over time. It's the backbone of public health research. Epidemiological data comes in many forms, from disease incidence and prevalence rates to risk factors and outcomes. Whether you're studying infectious diseases, chronic conditions, or health behaviors, this data is essential for drawing meaningful conclusions. Now, let's talk about the different types of epidemiological data. Broadly speaking, we can categorize it into three main types: descriptive, analytical, and experimental. Descriptive data focuses on the who, what, when, and where of health events. For example, how many people have a certain disease in a particular region at a specific time. Analytical data digs deeper into the why and how. It's about understanding the relationships between exposures and outcomes. For example, does smoking increase the risk of lung cancer? Finally, experimental data comes from controlled studies, like clinical trials, where researchers intervene and observe the outcomes. This type of data helps establish causality. Next up, where does all this epidemiological data come from? There are several key sources that researchers rely on. Population-based surveys, such as the Demographic and Health Surveys, DHS, or the Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System, BRFSS, provide valuable cross-sectional data. Registries, like cancer registries, track cases of specific diseases over time. We also have health records and administrative data from hospitals and, of course, data from observational and experimental studies. Each source has its strengths and limitations, so it's important to choose the right one for your research question. Once you've got your data, what do you do with it? Let's go over some of the key metrics you'll need to understand. Two fundamental measures in epidemiology are incidence and prevalence. Incidence tells us the number of new cases of a disease in a population over a specific period of time. Prevalence, on the other hand, gives us the total number of cases both new and existing at a given time. Other important metrics include mortality rates, risk ratios, odds ratios, and attributable risk. These metrics help quantify the burden of disease, compare groups, and assess the impact of interventions. Collecting data is one thing, but ensuring that your data is high quality is another. Poor quality data can lead to misleading conclusions, so let's talk about data quality and validity. Data quality refers to how accurate and reliable your data is. Are the measurements consistent? Is the data complete? To ensure quality, you need robust data collection methods, clear definitions, and standardized procedures. Validity is about whether your data truly represents what you're trying to measure. Is your data free from bias? Have you accounted for confounders? Both internal and external validity are essential to making your results credible and generalizable. Collecting epidemiological data isn't just about numbers, it's about people. That's why ethical considerations are paramount in any research involving human subjects. Before collecting data, you need approval from an ethics review board. Participants should provide informed consent, and their confidentiality must be protected. Remember, ethics is about ensuring that your research respects the rights and dignity of all individuals involved. So, how do you make the most of your epidemiological data? It's not just about collecting and analyzing, it's about translating those results into action. Communicate your findings clearly, whether it's through scientific publications, policy briefs, or community presentations. Make sure your results are accessible to the people who need them: public health officials, policymakers, and even the public. Good epidemiological research doesn't just stay in the lab, it drives public health action. And that's a wrap on the basics of epidemiological data. Remember, this data is essential for understanding health trends, identifying risk factors, and making informed public health decisions. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on public health research and epidemiology. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.